Crazy the progress though. I was doing like 53s, then 52s, then I qualified with a 51 on that LMP2 race. Couldn't imagine getting a 150. During the race, managed to keep up with one of the guys who did set the 150. Got a 150 myself. Now we're into the 49s. I like this part of racing. It's when you can't improve anymore and you're still like 2 seconds behind someone. That's when it gets tough to deal with. This video is supported by iRacing themselves, in a way anyway. If you're considering signing up to the service, use my referral link in the description and I'll get some credits to spend on more cars and tracks. That's the difference though, isn't it? Look at it, all that lap time difference and all that practice that I've done, all that lap time improvement that I've done to get a 49, and it's good enough for last place on the grid. There's just such a gap further ahead. It's a long race though. I mean, I thought that with the Monza race I got overtaken and left behind, and then as soon as we started overtaking people and lapping people, I actually caught up to the guys in front, so maybe traffic management will help me, racecraft and all that. So as we watch the start of this race, I'll explain what happened up to this point. I'm basically continuing my learning in the LMP2 car, this time at Silverstone, and this time I had time for some practice as well. So I joined an LMP2 only race and I set my best lap in qualifying of a 151.4, which was a good second per lap off the pace of the person directly in front of me. But during that race I learned a lot and I was able to keep pace, finishing where I qualified, but only a few seconds down the road of the person who'd previously been a second per lap quicker, so a big improvement in that first LMP2 only race. Then in the practice session before this race, all that I'd learned was unlocked as I chased a 49-second lap time. Eventually I got that and I actually got my optimal, which is all the best sectors that you've done individually, down into the 48 seconds during qualifying. But the 1 minute 49 that I set during the qualifying session, while it was 2 seconds per lap quicker than the earlier race, and in that race would have been good enough for third place on the grid out of 8 drivers, here it was only good enough for last place out of 6 drivers, so it shows the difference in sort of relative pace of the drivers I was racing with in the first race versus racing with in this race. And in the early stages of this race, that last place is where I stayed. I kind of plodded along, doing my best, but knowing that I wasn't really on the pace. Though I did manage to stick with the 2 guys in front of me, but ultimately I wasn't able to put any kind of impression or pressure on them to, go for an overtake, mainly due to a lack of consistency. But then things got a little bit dicey with lapped traffic. Unlike my first experience of this IMSA championship last time out at Monza, Silverstone was proving to be a lot more difficult in terms of finding a place to overtake slower cars. So early on in the race I made a tactical call to pit early and avoid having to do some overtaking, and you'll see how that worked out throughout the course of this video. Alright, we survived the first lap. We're at the back, but we survived. I'm keeping pace with the 2 in front across all of the lap and slightly catching in Maggots and Beckett's. Except the final 2 corners. Okay, that was a bit better. Did I set the exact same best lap? Or almost. That was Bad start to this lap though. Consistency, that's it. Difficult. Actually gained time on the two in front over the last couple of laps, and then I've lost it all just from one little mistake in that first complex.
The leader just did a 50.575. Car stopped ahead. Car stopped on the right.
Oh God.
Fleet car ahead. Go right.
I think we've had some LMP2s getting caught up with some GT cars.
Faster traffic approaching. Left side.
And maybe LMP1s. Not LMP1s, LMDHs. I didn't realise we'd caught them so quickly.
Car right. Clear.
Got a 4X for that little hit. That was a little bit messy.
Pit boxing 10. 5. You're in fifth. 3, 2, 1. Right here.
Ah!
All the damage is repairable. That's it, go.
I thought I'd try for an early pit stop, because that was looking pretty dicey with all the GT3s. So I thought maybe if I get an early pit stop, I'll get some clean air.
Right side. Clear on the right.
What's gone on? Some crashes have happened.
Fleet car ahead.
This guy I was racing,
behind is pitting. The car in front is pitting. You're back in fifth. Left side. Clear.
So it looks like the two that I was racing against, I think they've had a coming together, either with GT car or themselves. Because they're both in the pits right now. And I passed one of the guys as he was coming into the pits.
Left side. Clear. Left side. Clear. Group of faster cars approaching. Left side.
Being patient.
Clear.
We've got the LMDHs coming up on us now as well.
Car on. Clear.
Oh, he's coming in the pits. Perfect.
Faster traffic approaching. Right side. Clear. Right side. Still there. Clear.
It is fun multi-class racing. Like, I might only be racing against 5 other people in my class, and I was way off the pace, really. But it's still fun because I'm having to overtake GT cars, and soon I'll be getting overtaken by LMDHs. It keeps it interesting.
Car on your left.
Tilting around at the back isn't really just tilting around at the back in a multi-class race.
Right side. Clear on the right. Car on your left. Clear. Right side. Clear on the right.
That was interesting with all 3 all at once. Really fun though. That was good fun. So at this point it's the same as where I was at with the Monza race. I'm never going to make a position at this point. I just need to bring it home.
Faster traffic approaching.
Never going to make a position in terms of pace, at least.
Right side. Clear.
All 3 of us again. Had to be careful there because I didn't know exactly where I was at and who'd seen me and who hadn't.
You got it. Slow car on the
There
right.
we go then. 4th. Still last, but better than the two who I was racing with at the start.
Great job. You did really well.
Because these two were close all the way through. I mean, you can see me just behind. But as soon as we started to catch up to the GTs, it just started to get a little bit hairy. And that's why I went for my early pit stop. It was a very last minute decision as well. I had to put all the settings in pretty quick. I think this is where I went for my pit stop. And these two are still fighting it out. Oh yeah, it gets really hairy. I mean, the way that the time loss they must have got there, I probably would have come out ahead of them anyway when they made their pit stops if whatever happens to them didn't happen. I think it was a good pit stop decision. Oh, there it was. Nah. He goes way too far over to the right. Like, the gap is there for him to go in, but he's so... Yeah, netcode lag. Like... he's so aggressive with the right hand turn that I guess that's what the netcode gets you, and the GT3 was just an unfortunate passenger. And that's it. Race over for both of them. This guy, I think he tries to get it to the pits, and he does. I don't know why he didn't go left, but hey yo. Because then I pass him as he's coming into the pits, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there's me, going on my merry way. Avoiding all of that mess and nonsense. Good pit stop in the end, it made me avoid all of that. I could have got caught up in all of that, especially if they got slowed down and I started battling with them. Oh well, I mean, I'll take it. 2 free spots. The way that they were slowed down though, I think I would have come out ahead of them anyway, well, when they pitted. Or at least it would have been closer to what it was beforehand. Like, I think it was a good stop. Safety rating's taken a hit, but iRating improvement. I mean, I'll take it. +7. And I'm not in any trouble of losing my A license at least, so. Best lap was a 49.4, which is, I think that's the best I've done. But that's a full second behind even the next place up. These two were also on the low 49s. There's still so much improvement though when you look at 40. Like I'm 2 seconds a lap off the pace. But considering my improvement, if I'd done this race with the same practice that I had when I started today, I would have been, what, 4 seconds a lap off the pace? 5? So that's not bad, and I enjoyed it, to be honest. I do enjoy these multi-class races.